Yeah, Dan, Ashley, today Representative Scott Taylor needs to decide if he's actually going to go to that hearing in Richmond. Last night we did find out that Taylor's team is fighting the subpoena requiring the congressman to testify in court. Now, according to the Virginia court website, Taylor's team filed a motion rejecting the subpoena. And to remind you, this lawsuit was filed by the Democratic Party of Virginia against the State Board of Elections. Now, Virginia's Democratic Party wants independent Sean Brown's name removed from this November ballot. A tweet from Scott Taylor said, quote, "The Democratic Party is using the civil lawsuit to disenfranchise a candidate again and politically smear another, running ads on TV and boasting about it on social media before there is even a hearing." Now, when we asked Sean Brown about the lawsuit, she simply said, quote, "I'm looking forward to moving forward and winning in November." Our legal analyst Edwin Booth tells us a case like this is unusual.
By the very nature of this case, I mean, it's certainly going to be more rare than cases that a circuit court would typically see.
And don't forget, a special prosecutor is assigned to investigate the case separately. However, he told 13 News Now it is unlikely he will have anything on the case until after the election. Megan Shin, 13 News Now.